Hello, everybody. My name is Jorge from Dignity Memorial Network and Funeraria del Ángel locations. We're located here in Pasadena on Main Street for many years. Many of you may know us. So the reason for my approach to you today is to speak about the benefits that we have obtained from the Pasadena Chamber of Commerce. It's a great organization, great platform for us as an organization. We sometimes help our community on the worst day of their life, but we also want to be seen as somebody who contribute to the community. So the Pasadena Chamber of Commerce and their associates, their staff, has been gracious enough to welcome me into the group. We have obtained many, many benefits. I'd say that this is a win-win situation where we provide to the chamber, but also we gain a lot of benefit because we get a lot of exposure through whether they're social media and social venues, as well as contributing with nonprofit organizations. We have been able as well to connect with many other enterprises in the Pasadena community and the community Pasadena arena, which of course is such booming right now. So we're happy to give 2 thumbs up to the Chamber of Commerce, and I invite everybody to come step in and participate as well. Thank you, everybody.
Hi, my name is Floyd. I'm with Bob's Truck Care and Mobile Auto Pros. We have been in Pasadena for 46 years now, and I am 3rd generation in our business. But we haven't always been a member of the chamber. One thing that I realized a few years ago is we've been really good at taking care of our business, but not so good at reaching out to our community. So we talked about it, our family, and decided that we wanted to get more involved in the community. So one of the first stops was getting involved in the chamber. So far, the biggest value that I've had is in the relationships that I've made through my connections with the chamber. I've been able to meet a lot of people in the community, a lot of other business owners. I've been able to pick up just on different insights and points from them that have helped me to make better decisions with my own business. So I think the biggest value for me has just been in the building of relationships and also getting our name out in the community, letting people know that we're here and that we're not just here to make a quick buck, but we're here to build relationships, take care of our employees, and hopefully make a better impression upon our community. If you have not yet joined the chamber, I want to encourage you to do it because there are so many great opportunities, not just for networking, but also to find new leads in business, to make more relationships, and just to let people know that you're there. So I want to invite you to join.
Hello, everybody. I kind of want to yell like, hey, to all my people, I'm so happy to see your beautiful faces. I kind of wanted to do a little dance party, but we'll save that for next because I was afraid I'd be the only one dancing. Somebody smarter than me talked me out of it. Thank you guys so much for coming today. I can't tell you how excited we are to be here, to see you, I feel like we're back. And to those of you who are joining us online, thank you for continuing to support us, and we look forward to seeing you in person really, really soon. For those of you who I have not had the honor to meet yet, my name is Alex Fox. I'm the chairman of the board for 2021 for the chamber, and I'm honored to serve. I wanted to say thank you really quick to CT Church for hosting us. Can we give them a little round of applause? Not only do they host us in this beautiful facility, but they have a whole IT team that helps us with our hybrid part of the event. And let me just say, it's next level with them. Without them, this would look very, very different. And I also wanted to say we're super excited to have Liliana Rambos, our speaker today. Thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited to hear from you too. Of course, I have to take a minute to thank our diamond level partners. They invest at the highest level annually for their membership. We could not do all of the things we do, and there's a lot without these folks. So thank you guys so much. Their names are here behind me on the screen and also in your virtual programs. I want to welcome the Impact Pasadena Leadership Program to open today's program. I am a proud alumni of the 2019 class. Woo-hoo. And a lot of my fellow classmates are here, and you know, that's part of what makes this so much fun, is just to see the familiar faces. Now, this is Nick Cavness from CT Church. He will be leading our invocation. And Diane Phelan from Pasadena ISD for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Alex. I was actually waiting for you to talk about how great the 2020 cohort was. Come on, 2020, the best one. Would you join me as we pray for today's event? Father, we thank you that we can come together as a community. And Lord, I believe that when we do come together as a community, there's a significant blessing that rests on this group of people. We celebrate that we can be in person and see each other because relationship is so necessary. So God, I know that this event and every event that the Chamber of Commerce puts on carries that significant blessing where we can connect with one another. And so God, as we go through the program, I pray that you would just bless the food, bless the speaker, and we honor you. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
We were really a little delayed because we were the COVID class and we've been in Zoom for so long. So we're not used to this. So will you please join me for the pledges? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you.
I always like how it's just a little bit quieter at the beginning of the Texas pledge. We've only said it 1,000 times. I want to say a quick thank you to Ernie's Cafe and Catering. Ernie's a good friend of ours at the Chamber, and he knows how to make a chicken breast. So enjoy your Chamber chicken, and we send some thanks to Ernie. Also, our Nothing Bundt cakes. We wouldn't be a real luncheon without an actual dessert. So thank you to those guys as well, those ladies. Today, Houston Methodist Clear Lake Hospital is our platinum sponsor for today's event. Please help me welcome Dan Newman, CEO of Houston Methodist Clear Lake Hospital, for a few remarks as our platinum sponsor, followed by Ms. Christina Womack.
Well, I know it's been said, but it is so nice to have a room full of people, and kudos to the Pasadena Chamber for putting this on in person and having a virtual option. It's really nice. My name is Dan Newman. I'm with Houston Methodist Clear Lake. I'm the CEO of our Clear Lake Hospital. And I wanted to just let you know, part of the reason we're able to get back in person and do these things is because our community's done a great job of all the suggested behaviors. At Houston Methodist, we're now offering vaccinations free. Just walk in and any one of our 7 hospitals. If you've not yet received it, love to have you. I want to let you know about 2 updates for Houston Methodist. One is that we are now not only in your market, we're right beside CT Church. We have had an orthopedic presence in physical therapy there for a while, but now have a physician that's there Monday through Friday. His name is Dr. David Wallace, and he's here today. If you'll just wave your hand, Dr. Wallace. You guys have any orthopedic need at all, this is your guy. We'll love to take care of you. And then just right around the corner in Deer Park on Center Street, if you know where the Starbucks is, there's now a Houston Methodist Emergency Care Center. So if you have any emergency needs, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we'd love to take care of you. So guys, thanks for having us. Hope you have a good rest of your day and enjoy your lunch. Thanks.
Well, like Alex said, it's so great to see everybody here today. And now that you're sitting at your table, I can actually now know who some of you are without your masks on. So it's great to be back.
Like all of our events, thank you to Houston Methodist Clear Lake for being our platinum sponsor. Also want to say thank you to our gold sponsors, Pinnacle and their team, as well as Port Houston, and our silver table sponsors as well that are listed in your program. And so we can't do this without the support of all of our sponsors. So thank you for being here. How about a hand for all of our sponsors? It is also my pleasure to take a minute to introduce our elected officials. I haven't had to do this in a while. And so it's great to be able to recognize those folks that serve and give so much of their time for our community. And so I'll start from Harris County Commissioner Precinct 2, Adrian Garcia's office. We have Raul Camillo. Thank you so much for being here, Raul. And from Pasadena ISD Board of Trustees, we have Miss Nelda Sullivan, Maricel Quijano, Jack Bailey, and Marshall Kendrick. Thank you all so much for being here. And then I think Mr. John Moon Jr. was scheduled to be here, but I can't see that he made it today. So thank you all so much for those of you that are here, especially for those approaching Saturday's election. And so thank you for making the time to join us. You know, the chamber, as the voice for advocacy and for businesses in our community, it's really important for us to continue to help promote our partnerships with the city of Pasadena and the Pasadena ISD school district. And so one of the new initiatives that we did this year, thanks to the vision and leadership of our board of directors, was hosting Meet the Candidate forums, showcasing candidates running for an elected position in the city and the school district. And so we really focus on giving an opportunity to showcase members for the first time running in all of those positions because we think it's important for our community stakeholders, regardless of whether you live in Pasadena or not. You're here because you either do business in Pasadena or you have an office located in Pasadena. We wanted to provide an opportunity to bridge the gap among candidates and our business community and stakeholders. And so if you didn't attend that event and you haven't voted yet, as a reminder, we certainly encourage you to use your voice and cast your vote. And so the chamber, we don't endorse any individual candidates running for office, but we do certainly encourage you to engage. And so election day is Saturday. If you haven't voted, you can figure out where to do that on harrisvotes.com. And if you didn't attend the event, you can go to Meet the Candidates on our Pasadena Chamber website to learn more about everyone. I want to say a special thank you to the candidates here today that participated in that event and made that happen. We appreciate you. That's just one of the ways that the chamber tries to advocate and connect our community together. So at this time, I would like to invite one of our other board members to the stage, Dwayne Busby with U of H Clear Lake, to help introduce our speaker. But while he comes, I would like to take an opportunity to just say thank you. Last week was Volunteer Appreciation Week. And so for those of you that follow us on social media, you saw posts all week about the work of our volunteers. But I couldn't have us come together this week and seeing so many of your faces in this room. The chamber as a member organization, we can't do anything as an organization without the support of our volunteers because literally everything we do requires the support of you. And so I'd like to ask all of our volunteers, we have board members, ambassadors, event committees for our golf and Taste of the Town, our nonprofit committees. I would like to just ask that all of you please stand and everyone help me say thank you. Whether you give 1 hour a year at an event, Taste of the Town, doing Lord knows what, or hours and hours every single month serving as a board member, we really, really appreciate you. So will y'all please stand and help me thank them for all of their work. Okay, now I will ask Dwayne to come up and introduce our speaker.
How's everybody doing today? I'm ecstatic. It's been almost just over a year since we've been able to do this in person. So as Christina said, I'm Dwayne Busby. I'm the Executive Director of Strategic Partnerships in the Office of the President at the University of Houston Clear Lake. Before I continue my introduction, I would like to thank Christina Womack and her team at the Pasadena Chamber of Commerce for not only holding the city together, but holding this chamber together leading the board to do all the fabulous things that we do to make sure that business is profitable here in Pasadena. Thank you very much. And I also like to, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, special thanks to Juliana Achafaria for coordinating this speaking engagement. I know I'm an impossible person to work with, so I greatly appreciate everything you've done to put this together. And thanks for all her teammates for helping us do this well. I am humbled and honored with this opportunity to introduce such an accomplished person. Humbled, why? Because when we were speaking, I learned a few things about Liliana Rambo. I'm gonna start off with a question. How many of us remember the phrase, Mikey likes it? Anybody? Other than revealing my age by referencing this 1972 commercial, it's also the phrase that was used, and you correct me if I'm wrong, by Liliana Rambo. And I took it as, that's the way she views challenges. She likes them. Many people may tremble in fear when they see a challenge coming about, but she has not. She migrated here from Colombia at the age of 12, succeeded in education, also identified and secured a great career in transportation, first in Florida, then moved to Houston, Texas in 2005. And we live in Texas, so we take this for granted, but Texas is a country as of its own, almost. So to get used to the Texan culture, the Houston culture was also a challenge. And then early 2020, she was promoted to Houston Airport Chief Terminal Management Officer over two of the largest airports in Texas, Hobby Airport and Intercontinental Airport, or some of us know it as George Bush or IAH. But there, she oversees over 400 to 500 people daily. And she does this all with a smile. How does she do that? I don't know, because people is so hard to work with, no offense. But she does, to the point that people from Florida still communicate with you, not only about advice, but just to check in. I think that's phenomenal. And you end every day taking care of your family, 2 daughters, I believe. And I asked her, how is she able to do this? Simple. Faith, family, focus, laser focus, and fun. So I'm honored and humbled to introduce to you Liliana Rambo. And though it should be a book written about her, I'm not going to read it now. I'll stop and have her take the stage. And thank you very much for this opportunity, Liliana.
Good afternoon. How are you all doing? I am so excited to be here. Like, I am so excited. It's been a long time that I'm not in front of so many people and an event such as this. So thank you so much for inviting me to come and speak with you about the airports. I'm telling you, it's been like the whole entire week. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to see people. I'm going to see people. I'm going to see people. I am so tired of Zoom and Teams meetings. I can't do that anymore. I am a people person. Dwayne, thank you for that introduction. Truthfully, that has been the best introduction that I've had, I think, in my whole entire career. So thank you so much. I don't think that's going to stick in case I need it. First of all, just being here, I know that you all, as I've had, the last year has been so challenging for all of us, whether it was business, personal, just mental, emotional, for some of us financially. So being here and being part of the airport and telling you a little bit about what's happening behind that huge entire industry is a great honor for me, because I represent over 1,300 City of Houston airport employees. And more than anything else, the terminal management employees that are under my department, we are really, really, really glad just to be able to be here and just to be able to have those doors open to those airports.
I'm gonna make sure that I do this correctly, Julianne. So as you can see, that is a beautiful picture of our airport, and one that we treasure because actually this picture was taken during spring break. And the reason that is a special picture for us is because the spring break was the first week that we actually feel like, yes, we're gonna get over this. We're over the hump. So that is a very special picture for all of us. And let me tell you a little bit about the Houston Airport. Our mission, as you see there, we assist to connect the people, the businesses, the cultures, and the economies of the world to Houston. And that's huge. When you take a look at every single word that is in that mission statement, we really do not realize what the airports do because you guys don't work at the airports. But the airport is truly the connection between Houston and everything else. That is the reason why our director, Mario Diaz, your mayor, the mayor of the city of Houston, it is such great priority that whatever happens, and you guys have seen it, Harvey, the storm 2 months ago, it is such a great priority for us to keep those runways open. It's not just for the passengers, it's for the amount of cargo that comes in through that airport. The vaccines that most of us have already taken, those vaccines are being delivered through those airports. So it's extremely important for us to make sure that we keep those airports open at all times. Our vision, to establish the Houston Airport System as a 5-star global air service gateway where the magic of flight is celebrated. And why is that? Because we really want you to enjoy going to the airports. And I'm gonna show you a little bit more. And I know you guys say, it's just the airport. You know, we just park and we go into the gate. No, we want you to have good time when you go to the airport. We wanna make sure that we provide to you every single service that you want. We want you to enjoy. We want you to spend your money. That's true, yeah. We want you to spend your money in those concessions. And if you're going on vacation, we want you to get there like 2 or 3 hours ahead of time so you could get some spirits and and get happy, and then be really unruly in the airplane. No, I'm only kidding. But Skytrax. So I want to make sure that I point that to you because unless you're in the airport business, you really do not know what a Skytrax is, but it's extremely important for us. And one of the reasons why I am the chief terminal manager. So Skytrax is the agency that basically goes around the whole entire world, not just the United States. This is global. They come and they audit our airports and they rate us in a 1 to 5 stars. And I want to make sure that you guys know this and you tell every single body that you know. Please be very, very, very proud of your airports. We are the only system in the whole entire world with 2 airports with 4 stars. That is huge. That is huge. That is the spin right here. And I'm hoping, really, really hoping, I'm praying that within the next 2 months, I could take this spin off and have one that says 5 stars for hobby, because that's what we want to do. So you guys, if we do, I'm going to send a special message to the board. So you guys could go ahead and put it on your page because it's going to be huge. It would be the first airport in the United States to be 5 stars. And we're very close to doing our hobby. So let me give you a little bit about the Houston airports. And you guys may know or not, but I'm just going to run you through some numbers. So we manage 3 airports. As Wayne said, Hobby Airport, that's the smaller sister, IAH, and Hobby Airport, so not that small, because pre-COVID, so 2019 numbers, 14 million passengers went through that airport. IAH, the big sister, we don't see, I don't say brother, sisters. That is 46 million passengers pre-COVID. And then we have Ellington, of course, and that's our spaceport. And I'm gonna give you, we got some really, really great news about Ellington, and I know Arturo Machuca has been here to speak to you guys a little bit, and I don't know when was the last time he was here, but Arturo has done wonderful things the last 2 years, and that's somebody that probably should come also and speak with you all, because I'm just gonna give you a little bit, I'm gonna burst his bubble a little bit, but he could give you a lot of the stuff that he's doing. So 2020, of course, COVID hits. March 9th is when we really felt it at the airports, when everything just came to halt, stop. During 2020, and this is calendar year, 24.7 million passengers. That is down from almost 60 million passengers that we were about to do in 2020 if we would have kept the same record as 2019. So a huge decrease in passengers. And one of those things, and I'm pretty sure that whatever industry you're in, April of 2020 looked very different. Especially, I mean, just look at the highways. It was like there was literally nobody on the highways because everybody was at home. Everybody was, well, not everybody. A lot of people were working from home. Some of us at the airport, because we are operations, we couldn't stay home. I mean, whether it's one passenger, 10 or 60 million passengers, the airport still has to keep on moving. So some of us, and when you go to the airport, please say thank you. The people that you see at the airport, the people that are actually at the airport, they did not take a day off. They were there day in and day out. And that's the reason that I love them so much. Your custodial employees that you see in those bathrooms. So remember in April 2020, when if you said the word COVID, it was like, oh my God, I don't want to touch it. Oh my God, I don't want to touch it. Oh my God, that because we didn't know. Well, guess what? We were still bringing in passengers, if you remember, from other countries. We were repatriating people. Some of the people that were coming in had COVID. Your TSA employees, your HPD officers, your custodial employees. Some of us got infected with COVID. Those custodial employees had to go in and clean that area. And we have pictures of what they look like. I mean, you look like you were going to the NASA, space, because we didn't know. But they were there. They were there. So, I mean, my plea to you is when you go to the airport and you see those employees, say thank you to them. They did really have gone through a lot the last year. The airport contributes over $36 billion to the economy. $36 billion to the local economy. And you say, well, how? Well, City of Houston employees is only 1,300. But you think about the number of employees that are employed by those airlines. That's just one section. Those aircrafts need to be maintained. They need to be clean. There's catering, right? Then now let's talk about the concessions. You have people that take care of the concessions. You have the managers. You have people that need to do the cleaning. Then now you go outside of the airport. You have your bus drivers, your shuttle drivers, your TNC drivers. Then you go to the cargo area. The people that bring in and bring the products, take them out of the airport. When you look at all that, within the airport community, we employ over 35,000 employees, local. They do something at the airport, something. And it's funny to me because anytime that I tell someone, oh, I work for the Houston airport system, they're like, oh, you can get me free tickets, right? No. People literally, they equate the airports to the airline. No, I cannot get anybody free tickets. I cannot even get free tickets. It's against my ethics, the City of Houston ethics. But that being said, so just think about when that particular industry shuts down, what it does to the economy. What we saw, unfortunately, during COVID, a lot of those employees had to be let go. And it was an unfortunate thing. So if you have traveled, how many of you guys have already traveled? Okay, quite a few. That's good. Great. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you. If you have been to the airports, I don't know how recent, recently you probably have seen a lot more of the shops and the concessions open. If you went probably December or before December, we were actually struggling just to be able to bring employees in and to be able to have those concessions open. Right now, we're about 95% of our concessions and shops open, so that's great. So let me give you a little bit about what our strategic priorities are at the airport. And again, we take a lot of pride and a lot of thought went into this. So last year, we were coming out with our brand new strategic plan in March, and then COVID. That was funny. So make our passengers happy. That is the most important goal that we have at the airport, make passengers happy. And one of the reasons why we changed the structure of the airports. So the airports used to be run by general managers. I was a general manager at Hobby Airport. So what does that mean? That means that I was in charge of everything that happened at Hobby, all the way from your roadways onto that plane took off. Everything I was in charge of. But what we realized was that the focus, because we as general managers have so much to look after, sometimes we were losing the focus on the terminal. And the terminal is really where we wanted to make sure that we paid attention to those little details. The little details that you, as a passenger, you notice, right? You notice when your bathroom is not clean. You notice when you don't have toilet paper. You notice when the wall is not painted. Those were the little things that we were missing. Those were the little things that when the Skytrax auditors came, they told us, you need to pay a little bit more attention to this and that. So we changed the way that we did business. And we went, instead of having general managers, now we have the chief terminal manager for both airports, and that's me. And then we have a chief of operations. So everything that happened at the airports, at both airports, that is inside those walls, at Hobby and at IAH is those 5 terminals. Everything that happens in there is my responsibility. Everything that happens outside on that runway, that is operations. So what did that do? Under me, I have terminal managers. So at each one of those terminals, I have someone that is an assistant director that basically oversees that. What we have done is we are laser, when you talk about laser focus, we are laser focused on what happens at those terminals. Everything. If you go to the terminals in any one day, you probably see me walking around back and forth, and I walk pretty fast. So I'm very easy to be able to see in those terminals. Act responsibly to achieve social, environmental, and economic sustainability. Again, something that we want to make sure that we are good partners with our environment and everybody else. Build platforms for future success. What does that mean? Well, some of our terminals are pretty old. Some of them are 50 years old. We need to make sure that we reinvest in those terminals to make sure that they are providing the service that you as a passenger want to be provided. And invest in our partnerships and our employees. We do want to make sure that everybody that comes and works for the city of Houston, the aviation department, feels taken care of. Yeah, it's great. You work for the city. You have a pension. You get days off. You have vacation. We don't pay the best. I have to tell you that. We're working on that. But we want to make sure that we take care of our employees. How? We are huge for promoting within. The other thing that we do is we are the only department in the city of Houston that provides tuition reimbursement. And we take it a step further. Me as a deputy director, I sit down with employees and I actually go through your career plan. So where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? What do you need to get there? And I make sure that that supervisor knows that I know that he needs or she needs to make sure that that employee gets trained on whatever it is where they want to go. Why? Because we all win. We all win when employees get promoted. That is the culture that we want to build. That is the culture that we want to enforce. We lose when an employee goes out the door to get a better job somewhere else. Yeah, we really want them to get a better job, but it would be great if they could stay in here. That institutional knowledge, we want to keep that institutional knowledge within the airport. And then COVID. March 2020. I was actually in New Orleans. I was at a conference at the Marriott, And I don't know how many of you guys are from New Orleans or whatnot, but the first COVID patients in New Orleans has stayed at the same hotel that we were at. So panic, everybody panicked. And then we came back home quickly. Everybody was like, forget about traveling. Everybody has to get back home. And it's when we really saw and we understood what it meant. Maybe many of you may remember, you may have seen the pictures of what the runways look like at Bush and at Hobby. You saw planes and planes and planes part. It was disheartening. It hurt to be on those terminals and see no one. Literally like I could be a bowling lane because there was no one. That was really disheartening. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know where are we going to go next. Then CDC, the federal government, started, giving us all these edicts, and you got to do this and you got to do that, and these people are going to coming in, and it was a scary moment. I was going to say probably a scary 4 to 6 weeks, because we knew we had to be in the front line. We knew we had to be there, but nobody knew what to expect next. And then you started hearing people dying, and more cases, and more people infected. That was a time that I had to go home, cry by myself, put my big girl panties on, I'm sorry for the word, go back to work, and stand in front of those employees and say, we got this. When I knew inside my stomach, I was about to just lose everything, because I was just as scared as everybody else, but I couldn't show it. I had to be marching those 400 to 500 employees forward. That's why I said, please, if you know anyone that works at the airports in that front line, they deserve a lot more than what they have gotten. And, little by little, we implemented a lot of different solutions, and I'm going to walk you through it a little bit. This is something that we say is resilience by numbers, right? So you see where in April of 2020, we were 90% below what our previous years in passengers were. That 10% were just the passengers that were coming from other countries and were being repatriated. And that 10% also accounts for, a lot of you guys remember, the Coast Guard was here. Some of the other armed forces were coming from other states to be able to help us, because then we became one of the ports that basically were bringing people in from other international areas, even scarier. Little by little, every single day, literally every single day, the last 13 months, we look at bookings. I usually look at bookings once a month, before that, every single day, because it's so important for us to see how many people are coming in. Talking to the airlines, they were going through hard times. And I know some people say, oh, but they're private, they still make money. Oh, but yeah, no, I mean, I understand, but they also lost a lot of money. The car rental agencies, if you have travel and you have tried to rent a vehicle somewhere, you have seen that, first of all, the cost of renting a vehicle right now is 2 to 3 times if you find one, because the car rental agencies had to get rid of their fleet. They couldn't keep all those cars just parked there. So they got rid of the fleet. Now that we're coming back to semi-normal, we don't have enough vehicles. So that's another issue that is now we're facing as an industry, right? So let me see where I'm at. So airlines. So looking at the airlines and how they are adjusting to the schedules. A lot of the times airlines will give us their schedules, 5, 6 weeks in advance, and we know pretty much what they are. Literally, this was like a by the day number. They would say, we have four flights, 5 flights, because there weren't enough passengers. They will cancel that and they would take only 2 flights. And it was just a numbers game that we were playing every single day. So operations were going, and I'm glad that some of the passengers did not realize that, but it was truthfully just a craps game, because a lot of people will book, but then they will cancel. Then airlines were gracious enough to be able to not charge for the cancellation fees. I mean, they really understood, and we as an industry, the aviation industry, work together to make sure that airlines understood that, look, right now is not the time to charge for cancellation fees. Let's try to make it a little bit more friendly. And you guys have seen it. I mean, it's gotten a little bit better than what it was before. The travel restrictions worldwide became extremely complex. I mean, we didn't know, can you go? You cannot go. Do you need a test? Is it safe? Sometimes when you were going to go on board an airplane, is it, is the middle seat going to be available? Am I going to be separated? So many things that we had to deal with. Right now, it's a little bit more concrete. It's a little bit more clear, at least when you travel domestic. You know that you just got to wear your mask. And the other thing that you need to understand is that if you go to any federal building, and that will be an airport, you have to have a mask on all the time. The only time that you are allowed to not have a mask on is when you're eating. Other than that, you have to have a mask on. And what we did to be able to make it easier for some of the travelers is we have tables at the airports where we have our customer service reps providing free masks. Because you would say, well, who forgets a mask today? You'll be surprised. It's not that people forget it. I mean, if, maybe most of us have kids and we have had small kids, and by the time that you get the bag and the stroller and the this and that and the other, you just, you leave your vehicle and you forget your mask. So we got you. Don't worry about it. So, as you also travel, you probably have seen a lot of the changes. Back in May of 2020, I wish that I would have bought a whole entire industry of plexiglass, because I'll be rich right now. Plexiglass was the thing, and nobody could get enough plexiglass. Well, if you went to the airport, everything has a piece of plexiglass on. The same thing as the signage, the same thing as the distancing, and the disinfecting. We have actually taken our employees, and we have over 300 custodial employees. They have gone through training to be able to disinfect. We have actually also at the airport employed other measures to be able to disinfect. We use the foggers as well. So we are constantly disinfecting all the touch points. You have your hand sanitizers. Another thing that April or May of last year, it was just as expensive as gold to be able to get some of that. So we have all of that also as well. We just bought, and we're going to get some new equipment that is coming over to the airport to be able to disinfect the floors as well. So we have really, really gone, and anything and everything that the industry has come up with to be able to make it a safe environment for our travelers, we have implemented. The filters for the AC, we are using the HEPA filters also as well. Every 30 days, we change those as well at the airports. Again, whatever we can do, we have really gone above beyond the call of duty to make sure that everybody feels comfortable as possible to come to our airports. Right now, travel, business travel really has not come back. We haven't seen much of our business traveler, mostly the visitors, the friends and relatives. And right now, if you have time, go on vacation. I mean, the rates are incredible, and I'm pretty sure that you guys have seen some of the rates. The operating costs and airlines, and of course, the operating costs that are driving the airline decisions. Of how many flights a day they're gonna, bring out, but also what the airline has done, which is great. Again, they saw that the business traveler is not coming, but we have a lot of visitors, a lot of people that are going on vacation. So now, during the winter, you could have gotten a flight to anywhere, go skiing at a very, very, very affordable price. Right now, you want to go anywhere where there's sand, please book it. It's really, really good prices out there. And the experts in the industry continue to point to 2024 to be in the year that we're going to come back to 2019 rates or the numbers. Internally, we think is we think in 2022, we're going to be 90% because we're seeing some really good numbers. I mean, spring break got sent to us because we saw almost 65%, like about 3 days. So that was great. Summer looks really good right now for the number of bookings. So if people do travel the way that they have booked, summer is going to be really good. We're probably going to get to 70-75%. So that is amazing. That is really great because again, you got to think about the economy and you got to think about all that money that needs to, keep on flowing through. And the focus on the passenger, and I kind of talked to you guys a little bit about that on the curb to gate. So anything that you touch at the airport, we clean and we clean again. We employ more personnel. The number of supplies that we have increased. The number of the touch points, we basically clean that over and over and over again. The floors. If you have been to Hobby, who has traveled from Hobby recently? Good. So you have seen the floors that we changed. We took out all that carpet. That was really old carpet. And we have beautiful floors. And that's one of the projects that we are so extremely proud of because it took us a while, but we got it.
Even in the darkest days, we let hope light our way. When this is over, we'll be ready to help you get back to building sandcastles, discovering new adventures. We'll be ready to bring you closer, to embrace those you've missed. You and your team will once again inspire, transform, and impact the world. Until then, we are making our own castles stronger and making up for lost time by never missing a moment to serve you. Planning for your safe return, and for the day, we'll see your light shine on Houston Airport once again. Houston Airports, safely connecting the people, businesses, cultures, and economies of the world to Houston.
So yeah, thank you. That still brings chills to me. We made that video probably was so around fall because we wanted to bring hope. But when most of us still get teary-eyed when we see that video because it was still a really, really hard time. But we wanted to make sure that we brought hope to everyone. And the Flight Safe Houston website is the website that we have where it basically shows you everything that we have done at the airport to make it easy and safe for you to fly. And as you can see, we have taken care of everything from the curb all the way to the gate to make sure that you come back and that you fly and that you feel safe flying. That's what we want. We want to make sure that you feel comfortable. What's on the horizon? Hopefully again, like today, this is the way to the new, this is the way back to 2019. And I'm so happy to be here, but I'll show you what is in the horizon for us. The children's play area. So if you've been to Hobby, we just opened a great brand new children's play area right next to the Mac store. Everybody knows where the Mac store is at. So even the guys know where the Mac store is at. So right next to that. So we have, if you go to our parking garages, you're gonna see a similar or a replica of what I call the R2D2. And it's actually, it would help you find your parking space. It would help you figure out, where the next elevator is at, where the next stairway is at. So if you get lost, talk to him. He'll help you. Our service animal relief area, and again, that is Some of you is like, oh, who travels with animals? Oh, a lot of people. A lot of people travel with animals. So we actually have one in hobby and 3 at IH, and we make sure that they are as comfortable as possible. Restroom renovations, May 12th. May 12th is the big day for us at Hobby because we're opening brand new bathrooms. So that's, please. It's taken me 3 years to get here, and I am so excited for brand new bathrooms, you would think, right? They're beautiful, but that's only the first set, and then we're gonna be doing the other set of bathrooms because, of course, we can't just close all the bathrooms at once. The power seating, something that, was being asked for our, the travelers, everybody's on their mobile devices, power seating throughout the whole entire airport, got that done. Upgrades to the interfaith chapel. So again, to both IH and Hobby, but at Hobby, if you go to the terminal right next to Subway, you're gonna see our new interfaith chapel. And again, it's a time for you. You could pray, you could just go and meditate, you could just go and get away from the noise. It's beautiful. Harmony in the air stage. Hopefully you guys have seen the musicians, yay, at the airport. Yeah, great. So that's local talent. And again, you talk about, us being able to provide to the locals. That's local talent that we hire and we pay very well for them to come and, show and actually keep you entertained. And we get so many compliments on that talent. The interactive information booths. So we are bringing some really nice ones, but we already have some that are smaller. You take your boarding pass. If you scan your boarding pass, it tells you specifically exactly where your gate is at. It gives you a map of how it routes you from where you're at to your gate. It also tells you where the restaurants that you're going to see. So it's basically like a really, really nice directory. And the new floorings at Hobby. The phase 1 just got done, and we're going on with the phase 2. You can see how excited I am about these projects, right? So one of the things that we did during COVID, we took the time because, of course, there weren't that many passengers, and we said, okay, let's roll up our sleeves and let's do as many construction projects as we can inside the terminal. And that's the reason that you see a lot of those projects. A lot of airports did the complete opposite. A lot of airports kind of just shut down. One of the things that we did as economic development is we sat down with the mayor, and Dwayne was asking me, did you guys get CARE funds? Yes, we did. We got CARE funds. And what we did with that was some of that money was specifically for the projects to be able to keep the trades occupied, right? And some of those were also went to the concessions. So we have a lot of small businesses, MWBEs at the airports, and we were able to provide them some aid so that it could actually also keep some of those concessions open. Not all of them, but some of them open. Why? Because even if it's 120 or 1 million passengers, you want to get a coffee, you want to be able to, have a pastry, you want to be able to have something at the airport. So we actually did a lot of work, not just at Hobby, but also at IAH. But again, you can see Hobby is our, the one that we're moving faster. It's a smaller airport, so we're able to do things there a little bit quicker. But then we also did, have you guys heard of iTrip, the new terminal at IAH? So the international terminal, if you travel international to IAH, is D, where you check in, E, and the FIS. All that is a brand new project that we're doing. And it has been underway for now the last 3 years. Well, we took the time during COVID because if you go to IH right now, the streets they don't look very good. We have a lot of construction going on, but we were able to take that time to be able to, again, the city, and you don't hear this a lot of times, to be able to move forward a lot of those projects. We were able to do a lot more because, again, we didn't have the traffic, we didn't have the passengers. So we took advantage of that time. We have cut almost 6 months on that construction, and it's still in budget. So we're very proud of that. And here are some of the things that you're going to see on the construction at it's called the IAH Terminal Redevelopment Program. And it includes a brand new Mickey Leland International Terminal and all the enabling projects underway, which is one thing that sometimes we don't realize. Well, a brand new terminal, if you're going to bring more passengers in, that means that your infrastructure also needs to be expanded, right? Well, a lot of that is what's going on right now. So once it's complete, the new international terminal is going to feature modernized ticketing and arrivals halls, and it will support full post-pandemic growth. One of the things that you're going to see at the terminal is that is going to be the terminal where you're going to be able to do everything is going to be touchless. So you're just going to be able to literally your baggage, everything. You're just going to scan. It's going to give you a luggage tag. Okay, it's going to give you a luggage tag. You're going to be able to just go to the TSA, just put your phone like you do right now if you do your boarding like that. The same thing that you're going to be able to do when you go over to the gate. Facial recognition is what's going to be able to be your scan, your facial recognition of your phone, and you're in. So you're not going to have to touch anything. But due to the construction, of course, construction comes with some pains. And the pain that we have right now is that if you're used to parking at the DE garage, which is the international parking, that garage is no longer there. So we ask you to please park at the C garage. And we also ask you to please, your family, your friends, anybody that you know that is traveling, give yourself at least 1 more hour than you usually do. It's not pretty. But we all know sometimes, women, when we put the mud mask on, right? Like it doesn't look pretty. You don't want a picture. But when you take that thing off, I mean, you're beautiful. I mean, it's like your skin is like radiant. That's what we're going to be. So now we have the mud mask on. Just think of that. Guys are going to say, like, why we don't, you guys do mud masks. I know you do. No, I know you do. I seen you. I know that. If your family is picking you up, please tell them to use the cell phone lots. Guys, use the cell phone lots. Don't just go around and around and around the terminal. It's not good for anyone. You get frustrated, we get frustrated, you get yelled at, no, don't do that. Go to the cell phone lot, wait for your friends, your family, your loved ones to call you and say, hey, I'm at door South 1. And then you go to South 1 and they're there waiting for you. Instead of just somebody screaming at you because you got to move. So please help us out with that. Really do, please. I'm asking you. Let me talk a little bit about the spaceport. And I am not going to steal his thunder. Machucas, we don't like him right now because he gets all the spotlight. I'm only kidding. He's a great guy. I love Arturo. But I am going to steal some of his thunder. Just don't tell him. So the phase 1 of the spaceport was completed in December of 2020. And guys, I just want to make sure that you understand that in 2012, when Mario Diaz, our director, said that we were going to have a spaceport in Ellington, we all thought he was smoking something that was not legal. We said, oh boy, he really lost it there. Again, and he gave that to Arturo. Arturo used to be one of the air development guys. And we just looked at Arturo and we're like, oh, sorry. Okay, go. Nobody believed it. Really, truthfully, I have to say that I didn't even believe it. I'm like, oh Lord. But you know what? And that's the reason that if you see Arturo, if you know Arturo, please do tell him, thank you for sticking with it. You did it. You did it. You did it. The other thing, so Axiom Space, that's a huge company, is going to construct a 14-acre headquarter campus that is going to bring over 1,000 jobs to Houston. These are the good jobs, y'all. They're going to be building some rockets over there. So these are the good jobs. This is going to further the mission to create a focal point for aerospace innovation that will lead the U.S. in a transition from a government-driven to a commercially driven space program. We have also partnered with the local schools. We want to make sure that we use our youth, that we use the locals to be able to do this. So we have partnered with San Jacinto College, the University of Houston, Clear Lake. We have at TSU, Rice University. So we really were, if I didn't name a university that's local, I'm sorry, but we really have reached out to all of them. We also hire a marketing and business development person, and he's doing a fantastic job. And I can't tell you this because it's still, I cannot tell you. I want to tell you, but I can't. Big news are coming. Big, like big, huge news are coming here within the next couple of weeks. I wish I could tell you, but I can't. You know, you guys know that, right? Like, oh my God, I want to tell them, but I can't. So, right? Yeah. You're gonna get me in trouble with my boss. And then some big news for us. So Southwest used to fly out of Bush 16 years ago. And then they made the decision to go to Hobby. And of course, now they're like 95% of Hobby, which they're great partners, by the way. I love me some Southwest people. They're so happy. I think they take something. They're really happy. Hopefully nobody here works for this. But they came back. They came back to Bush about 3 weeks ago, and they came back with 18 daily flights. And I knew good old Southwest was not going to just stay with 18 flights, and they already announced that for the summer, they're going to be about 24, and I'm thinking about 30 flights. So guys, yes, we are coming back, and we're coming back strong.
This is phenomenal. What we have today is the return of Southwest after 16 years of absence. In order to get people, passengers to come back and fly, you really have to provide as many offerings with as good schedules to destinations they want to fly to. I think Southwest is as competitive as they come. They provide excellent service at fair prices, and we think that's going to be a win-win for everyone.
We're so excited for local Estonians. It really brings our low fares to their airport of choice. For folks that are north of I-10 here in North Houston, they can have easy access to Southwest Airlines, so great service and more low fares. We're all about the heart, and Houston is etched in our heart.
In April of 2020 was our low point for our passenger traffic, and we've seen a steady increase in traffic since then. At this point, we're about 55% recovered, meaning we're about 45% down in our traffic levels. So we're seeing it come back slowly but surely.
Happy day for us, definitely. And the water arch, right? Like, I love being on those water arch view, and it is wonderful. So usually, if we have a new flight, the first flight, a new service, the first flight that comes in, you do the water arch, or if you have a pilot that is retiring, or if you have a flight attendant that is retiring, I think that's the last flight, that's when you get to the water arch. It's something that is really, really nice to see it. So, the guys thinking about the water arch is really nice. Some of us just book flights just so we can get in the water arch. So that's all that I have for right now. You guys, I'm going to have a couple of minutes for questions and answers, and you do. Yes, ma'am. So if I heard you correctly, it's what are the possibilities for having a flight from Hobby to Monterey? Okay. So the airlines are the ones that basically decide, where they want to fly, and I know that, Southwest is looking at definitely extending, but that was something that they will have to tell you. The best thing to do is email them, email them and say, hey, we have a great community here that needs this and that and the other. The Mexico flights are doing very well right now. They just opened Costa Rica back again, and so the Cabo flight, that flight is so this is a good flight. But yeah. Any other questions?
That hobby has been spectacular. The friendliness is amazing. And all the sky caps that you have at IAH are wonderful. Thank you. So I just wanted to give you that feedback. Thank you. Great to hear that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Just also want to say congratulations for everything you're doing. It's very amazing. I just came from Los Angeles this week. Very amazing the service at the airport that you're doing. So wonderful. And I am also from Colombia, so I'm really, really, very proud of you. Awesome. What am I doing here? Bogotá. Hey, Cariña. I know. Where you from? Anyone else? Well, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate being here. So hopefully you learned something about the airport today. Thank you.
You all, and I know I'm personally excited, and we're also excited to have you back. Thank you again to Houston Methodist Clear Lake. What a great partnership we have with you guys, and we appreciate it. So we might not have seen y'all recently in the last year face to face, but we have been hard at work at the Chamber. And one of our initiatives that we were working on last year in partnership with the City of Pasadena and the Pasadena Economic Development Corporation is Pasadena Loves Local. I hope you've all heard all the great things we've been doing. We formed a committee that is run by Suzette McDowell, who probably many of you know. She used to work in this position at the Chamber, and now she's at the EDC, and Salvador Serrano with the Serrano Insurance Agency. They help lead that committee along with Everett and Dwayne and some other really fantastic people we have on that committee. We're doing workshops. We're really trying to help educate our local small to medium-sized businesses on how to gain exposure for their business and educate them on the different ways that they can help their businesses thrive here locally. One of the really cool things that we do have coming up in partnership with Conica and Chick-fil-A is a customer service type business etiquette live interactive workshop that we're going to be doing right here in September. Thank you, Everett from Conica, for hooking up with Luke at Chick-fil-A. We all know the level of customer service both of them have. So what an incredible workshop that will be, and stay tuned for more details on that. Another initiative that we're about to roll out is the 11 on Local video series. This is going to come out of the Pasadena Loves Local Committee too, and it's going to really focus on giving you guys an opportunity to highlight your business through some video projects that we're doing. So we're actually going to be fine-tuning those details in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that as well. You should all have your Discover Pasadena magazine right in front of you. Use that when you're choosing products and services to utilize. Pick up that magazine, or you can go to pasadenachamber.org. Our chamber member business listings are there. They're current, and they are, reputable businesses in our community that are willing and ready and want your business. So don't go to Amazon.com. Go visit your local businesses. I know we're all guilty of that, but these guys deserve our love and support. So we definitely want to do that. We do have some great events coming up. Today was our first live and in person. Thank you, CT Church. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. This technology and video, and John back there doing his thing, and Nick over here. You guys are amazing, and thank you for what you do. And thank you for, hi everybody online that gets to virtually be here with us. We really appreciate you, CT Church Pasadena. So our great events. Our Industrial Appreciation Golf Tournament is coming up on May 10th. We will be honoring our 2021 Industry of the Year, Chevron Pasadena Refinery. We're so excited. This event is actually sold out. I don't know if that's ever happened, but it happened Julianne, her and Ryan Taylor with TNT Construction chaired that event. They've been working really hard. So congratulations to you both and the entire committee for working on that. We're also going to be celebrating Chevron Pasadena Refinery again at our Industrial Appreciation Membership Luncheon on May 20th, right back here at CT. Presenting sponsor, Houston Methodist Clear Lake Hospital. Thank you once again for your partnership on that. We're going to be hearing from Terrence Maiden. He is the CEO and managing partner of Russell Glenn, and he is going to be talking to us on redevelopment, where to start and what works. We're really excited to hear from him. That's going to be really, really interesting. So y'all register for that, get your tickets early. That will be coming up in about a month. On June 3rd, we are doing some after hours networking at our annual Nights and Bites networking event. We will also be honoring our 2021 Nonprofit of the Year, Baker Ripley. So that's going to be a really fun, casual event where we can connect and network with each other. And that'll be June 3rd at the Pasadena Convention Center. Thank you once again to Houston Methodist Clear Lake Hospital for being our platinum sponsor. What a great partnership we have in you guys. Thank you. Lastly, on July 15th, this is a really cool event because we get together with about 5 other local Chamber of Commerces to bring you State of the Precinct with Harris County Commissioner Precinct to Commissioner Adrian Garcia. I think I got that right, yes. So he always does a really great job, and we're looking forward to that on July 15th. So head on over to PasadenaChamber.org to find out more information on those events and get your tickets. And last, but certainly not least, Impact Pasadena that y'all have heard about a few times today. We have some graduates from the 2019 class over here somewhere, and 2020's over here. I was part of 2022, but we're getting ready next month to open up applications. And instead of hearing it from me, I want you to hear from my really great friend, Nick Cavanis, to tell you what is Impact Pasadena Leadership Program. And once Nick is finished, feel free to stick around and keep connecting with each other. Thank you so much. Nick?
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, everyone. Liliana, thank you for your vulnerability and leadership. I think all of us could agree that we spent many nights crying and then putting on our big girl panties the next day. I know I certainly did. Because this isn't still going out virtually, is it? Oh no. Leading in a post-pandemic world is challenging, guys. As a leader in my organization and in my previous career in petrochemical, there were a lot of opportunities to develop as a leader. We went to seminars, we did retreats and conferences. Have you ever just wanted to sit down with elite leaders and just pick their brains on some of the things that you're facing, some of your personal challenges? Sitting down in virtual and in person with leaders like Scott McClellan from HEB, that would have been completely impossible to me if it was not for Impact Pasadena. Impact Pasadena made that happen. Not just sitting down and hearing his story, but being able to ask him questions and say, how are you guys doing this in this whole pandemic thing? Listening to his personal struggle. These were the opportunities that were open to us, and there were so much more. I love leadership and I love leadership principles, but sometimes whenever I try to apply them to my life from a book or from a seminar, it feels a little stilted. Like, I don't know if this really fits my life. But I learned sitting in a room with other leaders, those principles begin to apply in real ways through a laboratory kind of experience. Together, in all of our contexts, we were able to share how these leadership principles would impact and change our lives as we engage with our very unique and individual roles all across the community. I was also really impressed with the idea of being partnered with a top-notch mentor. My mentor invested in my leadership journey over chips and salsa. And I believe miracles happen around chips and salsa. Can I get an amen in here? but he was able to show me blind spots that I had in my own leadership and show me through his own personal journey how he navigated that. And I'm so grateful for this experience. Because of Impact Pasadena, I'm engaging with our community in ways I never thought were even available to me. This program has significantly changed my leadership. It's not just a retreat, a seminar, a speech. It's an experience, and it becomes a family. So if you haven't registered or you haven't planned on registering, what are you waiting on? If you have someone on your team that would benefit from this, you've got to get them connected and lean into this program, because it is I would say, life-changing event, just for me personally. So I just want to thank the visionaries that put this together for our community, who are dreaming up new ways to develop new leaders for our community. The board of the Chamber of Commerce, who are supporting this initiative, and all of the sponsors. Could y'all just give it up for these people who are visioning for Pasadena? So thank you all so much for being a part of this live event. I love seeing all your faces. And this concludes the program, but as Aaron said, please feel free, network, hang out, spend time. You don't have to leave. Thank you so much for being here with us today.